G'day everyone, just putting on a bit of aloe vera from this plant down here onto my face just to make it fucking beautiful. Anyway, I don't think they'll mind here because I don't think anyone fucking lives here anymore. This obviously used to be a petrol station, which probably then turned into a general store and then an antique and collectibles places before they just fucking went, we owe the bank too much fucking money. And so it's just abandoned now. Now, dead slavery. This is what fucking the Gary the Goat party is all about. We're gonna dismantle it. Now, it's a fucking boring subject for most people, and you're probably tuned out now. Fuck off. This is not going to be a gag thing. It's just going to be explaining what Gary and I are going to do for the Vote Goat, Gary the Goat party, which we basically said we'd run 2 elections ago. We put the idea out. The last election, we tried to get it through the AEC. ASIO's fucking shut us down in that election. We couldn't get it through. They infiltrated our admin. Look at the link below if you're thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? And next election, we're trying to get it through the AEC. I still haven't put the application through. I'm trying. Need a bit of fucking admin help if anyone's out there knows how to do that. But the basic principle of what we're doing is Gary Bucks. We're going to create our own money. Now, why are you doing this, Jimbo? Basically, like, I'm an entertainer. I've always politically left, of course. Most entertainers are. 99% of them are. The other 1% you fucking rarely hear of. I was left because left side of politics is basically 2 things. One, it's about taxing people. You know, when you're an entertainer, you start off, you've got no fucking money. So you just think, well, fuck, if I was loaded, I'd fucking pay some of it to tax and I'd have a lot left over and I'd be richer than I am now. And tax is good because it goes to roads and fucking essential services and fucking helping people out. And fucking the more tax money, the fucking better off society is. And as far as all that's economically left, and as far as all the social values, like, you know, fucking you're an entertainer, you don't give a fuck what race, religion, sexuality or what anyone is, right? It's just like, the fucking weirder the better, really. Like, who gives a fuck? So it's more who gives a fuck than, you know, like you're pro anything. Like, so you naturally gravitate to the left, and you're basically doing these gigs, and the higher up the entertainment industry you go, the more you're being associated with corporate money, because they pay for the ads and they pay for everything. You know, you're an entertainer, the corporate money is where it's at. Now the corporations don't want you to offend anyone, so the left type political values really suits them. Just don't fucking offend anyone. Make sure we do an ad, and in the ad with everyone fucking cleaning their teeth with our product, there's a black person, there's a Chinese person, there's a gay person, and there's a goat rooter, whatever. There's fucking everyone in there. So where did I change? Well, I basically changed economically a few years back when I just started doing some research into the nature of money. It always sort of, you know, for everyone, money is the biggest issue. It's the biggest reason couples break up, and it's money. It's a reality. We've got to deal with it. But what is it? Now, we're told as kids, do not fucking, you know, do not disrespect money because it doesn't grow on trees. So you're told where it doesn't come from, and you know it doesn't come from, you don't dig it out of the earth like coal, and it's not made in a factory with all these different elements mixed together. And so you're told what it is, but you're not actually told what is money. But the reality is money is not, there's nothing in the periodic chart in money. It's as real as a unicorn, which I've said a few times. Now, a lot of people sort of going, well, okay, if it's as real as a unicorn, Jimbo, how about you give me your fucking money? Yeah, and we'll see how real you think it is then. My comparison to a unicorn is this. We know what a unicorn is. It's a fucking horse or a goat or whatever with a fucking horn on the top, and it's got wings maybe, and it's pink or whatever. My daughter loves unicorns. And but it's not real, as in there's no unicorns. No one's seen a unicorn yet. It's no physical manifestation of an actual real unicorn. It's in picture books, fairy tales. Now, that's what I refer, that's the same as money. There's no notes, our money, our coins, the numbers in our bank account on the screen represent money, but there's no physical, money is not backed by anything. It's been taken off the gold standard. It's not real. So what the fuck is it? It's just been made up. So you think, well, if money is made up, why can't anyone make money up? And the reality is, you know, anyone can make up money. So all the monies around the world have been made up. Now, the power in the people who create these monies, they're central bankers beyond the governments. For example, in Australia, like every other country, we've got every other country except I think Iran and North Korea who are still printing their own money, but you know, due to sanctions and everything, they can't fucking increase its value very much. But if all these countries like Australia, America, Japan, whatever, we borrow our money off the central bankers. So we're all nation states to these central bankers. And that's why we get national debt. Why else would we have national debt? Like, why would we be in debt if we made our own money? We wouldn't. If we made our own money, we'd hand it out as an asset. It's not free money, it's just an asset. Whereas at the moment, we collect it as a debt. Here, the central bank's going, here's some Australian dollars. Now you fucking owe us this plus interest back, which we have to pay through fucking a national debt, which we have to pay through taxes, which fucking send a lot of fucking small businesses under. Because basically the system now is you work for the system, you work for all these big companies that pay no tax except through the wages they give people, or you collect our dole. So you work for yourself, and you fucking, there's a good chance you're going to go under, and if you get successful, there's a good chance they're going to buy you out. Like, you know, a lot of people want to buy the Gary the Goat page out. Like, I can get an income if I put it on my Facebook page, if I put other pages' contents. It's like, you put up this content and it'll be clickbait ads. So a lot of entertainers have to do that. They don't get paid for their content. YouTube, I've been demonetized ever since I was going to go for this Gary the Goat thing. It's fucking, there's a lot of stuff that's happened to me. Tax department, I'm getting on top of that. It's not that I'm avoiding tax, I just haven't had receipts, so I'm going to pay double tax just to fucking clear my name. That's all fucking working out well now that I'm doing gigs. Thanks for anyone turning up. Cops coming down on me, just trying to ring back my income, telling the pubs in New South Wales, don't book this guy. I think I've sort of got them at bay at the moment in Queensland now, and the cops are fucking getting me in New South Wales. I've been taken to court for drinking my own piss. Fucking nothing happened. There was no fine. It was no criminal charge. It was just fucking a waste of time. I'm now drinking Gary's piss on stage. Hey Gary, but fucking there's no law about drinking a goat's piss unless someone finds it offensive, in which case fucking offending anyone is technically illegal these days. So it's what a reasonable person thinks is illegal, is offensive, i.e. it's fucking what a judge wants to do. He can basically say, if he thinks a reasonable person would think this is offensive, you got a criminal charge, possibly. Anyway, I'm going to create an asset-based thing on cryptocurrency, on Gary Bucks, which I'm trying to do. Any programs out there, help me. It's not going to be like a normal fucking money though. I'm not like the central bankers. I'm not saying to the people, here you, all the countries, here's the principal, you place the principal plus the interest back. Like, that's the biggest Ponzi scheme there is. Sure, it costs a little bit to print money, like on the printing presses and all that, but we shouldn't be paying back the actual principal of the money plus interest on it. Like, mathematically, that is an impossibility. That's why it's the mother of all Ponzi schemes, and you do not, people don't know about it. I've done an economics degree way long time ago, and I'm not qualified to talk about this because I've done an economics degree, because they don't go near this topic in economics degrees, tertiary qualified, applied economics, PhDs. They never go near the topic of where money comes from with a barge pole. You got to research it yourself, and it's where a lot of people are getting red-pilled at the moment. Left-leaning politically people are just going, oh fuck, that doesn't make sense, man. We do not need to be paying tax. We do not need to be paying this national debt, because if you hand it out as an asset, because money does not exist, and then it's just it's pretty well what Hitler did, right? Hitler fucked up with all these the Jewish thing, and you know, whether you think the Holocaust happened or not, he rounded up people because they were Jewish, and you know, this not on just rounding up people based on their nationality or whatever. It's just or their sexuality or whatever. So, and locking them up. So, but economically, he was the success story of the 20th century. He turned he turned Germany around from the economic basket case after all the reparations for the First World War within the space of about 6 or 7 years to the powerhouse of the world. A country which was so financially strong that it took, you know, about 170 countries to 170 countries combined war machines to take out, which were all owned by the central bankers. By the way, I don't give a fuck who the central bankers are. I call them central bankers. I don't care whether they're you know, Jewish, Wahhabi, or on the other side of the moon, or they live on Neptune. They're central bankers, and the bottom line is, it's illegal to find out who these central bankers are because it's illegal to audit them. It's illegal to audit the Federal Reserve in America. Americans owe the Federal Reserve, which is not federal, it's privately owned, has no reserve in it because they pull it out of their fucking ass. They owe $20 trillion. That's 100% of American GDP. Australia's about 30%. Japan's about 200%, the highest. But say in America, where do these Federal Reserve get $20 trillion to lend to the American government? What, do they go to Mars and go, oh, I'm gonna can we borrow some money off you? No, they just pull it out of their ass. And that's why it is possible to create your own money. But if you set it up and you do it, you'll have the combined war machines of all the centrally bank-owned countries coming down on you. Gaddafi was trying to do his own currency. Saddam, Afghanistan, all the axis of evil countries are printing their own money. So that's the base reason why they're going after them. It's not just oil or that. It's get to the core of it. Follow the money trail. We don't do it. We don't do it with money because no one even questions where money comes from. It just comes from out of nowhere, man. And that's what we're going to do with the Gary Bucks. The Gary Bucks is not going to be like any other currency because it's going to be basically a cryptocurrency, but after a month it expires. So you've got to pass it on to someone else in a month. You've got to buy stuff. It's going to be a resource creating currency. And that means that the currency can devalue below 0%. At the moment, the European central bankers, I know people are lost on this, and you can give me all the personal abuse you can on this, it's boring, whatever, but if you're going to criticise me on this, give me some reasons. Because I want them, man. I've been doing these videos intermittently for 4 or 5 years, no one's come up with a reason to tear these ideas down. The central banks, the European central banks, on 0%. This is not... I'm not talking about your savings account where you put it in and you go, here's $1 million, you give us 99, negative interest rates because it's cheaper than putting it under my pillow. I'm talking about lending money. European central banks on 0. America's down to 1 point something, the Federal Reserve lending rate. These lending rates cannot go below 0 because if it goes below 0, it means countries then wipe off their national debt by simply borrowing more. They can just go, oh yeah, I'm $20 trillion in debt. Oh, there's a negative interest rate, is there? Oh, well, I'll just borrow $200 trillion off you, which they can print because money doesn't exist. They can put as many zeros on the end of whatever they want to give because it doesn't exist. It only exists in our own mind, like a unicorn. And no one mentions this. This is the big issue which is going to unite the left and the right of politics. And at the moment, these ideas are only coming out through the new right. And that's why I looked into the new right a few years ago, and I've been told that they're all racist and they're homophobic and all this. And I looked into it and I go, no, they're not, man. This is not the old right, the George Bush style fucking, this is the new right. The people who are voting in Trump. Whether Trump actually pulls this off or he does it, whether he's a, you know, the new right's concern about Trump is that he's just going to be like the others, but he's giving it a go. The important thing is the voting bloc is going, this is what we want you to do, man. We want you to fucking go to the heart of it. We want you to audit the Federal Reserve. So in Australia, that's what the vote goat thing is about. I'm going to create my own money which can handle a depreciating interest rate for lending, because I'm not charging, I don't want the principal back or any interest back on it. It's nothing for me or the people who use Gary Bucks to fucking accumulate wealth, money wealth. It's a resource creating economy, which is what economically we need at the moment, because otherwise there's no way that renewable energies, preventative medicine, locally grown food, all the stuff can work unless you've got an economy that can handle negative interest rates, because these things are going to create resources which are going to reduce the inflation. Recently in Australia, no shit, they've been trying to increase inflation all around the world, right? They can't fucking do it. Quantitative easing hasn't worked. Lowering the interest rates hasn't worked. It's like trying to start a car that's been flooded. So they've now changed the factors which determine what inflation is. All the basics are fucking the same price, but all the money from quantitative easing has gone into the asset bubbles, the property and stock market. So they're going to start including things like rent, so that, you know, it bumps up the inflation, so that they can keep this Ponzi scheme going, which is going to collapse if it goes below 0%. So they're going to try and start wars before that happens, and then they'll start their own fucking Ponzi scheme out of the rubble again, which they have after all the world wars. So Vote Goat is what this is about. I want you guys to just fucking give me some feedback on this. Shoot me down on my ideas. Sure, it's a bit boring, but fundamentally this is pretty well a topic which concerns everyone every fucking day. Debt slavery, man. We're gonna fucking finish that, eh, Gary? As you can see, Gary doesn't give a fuck. But that's why he's going to be a great leader, because we've been taught now to give a fuck about things we don't give a fuck about. And we've been taught to not give a fuck about stuff that we do give a fuck about. And we all give a fuck about money, man. It's not about accumulating money. Money was never meant to be something you accumulate in itself. It was originally designed. If I've got apples, someone else has got oranges. I want to buy some oranges off the cunt, but he doesn't want apples. So we use money. It's a transaction thing. It's a lube for transaction. It's not something that I go, I've got apples, oh yeah, I want money. No, I wanted fucking oranges. So we want resources. So as soon as usury came in, where you fucking charge interest on it, that's when it all fucked up, man. And it's going to end in the destruction of the planet and fucking everyone fucking fighting. So fuck that shit. Hey Gary. Anyway, Vote Goat, everyone. If anyone can help me get this through the Australian Electoral Commission, or help me create a cryptocurrency of Gary Bucks. It's basically the same thing as all the, say, Bitcoin, but it's got an expiry date in the blockchain. So it's not going to be like Bitcoin where it's like, oh wow, fucking guess how much it's worth now. No, you've got to pass it on to someone else. And that's going to create economic activity and be an example of how economic activity can be created through a currency which is fucking handed out as an asset. And you're not going to be, I'm going to give it out to whoever wants it at the beginning, 100, maybe 1,000 people, 1 million Gary Bucks, because I can fucking do it, because money doesn't exist. And then from then on, you got to buy into it. And even the people who get the money, it's going to disappear within a month, and then everything's going to be transparent. We have the technology now to do this shit. Anyway, speaking of shits, I think Gary's going to back one out. Vote Goat.